as we hit the halfway mark of the year, I wanted to look back to collate what's happened, what's been released, and the general state of the scale sort of commentary for TT120. If that sounds like something you would be interested in, then stick around after the intro. Thanks very much. As 2023 passed to 24, the year began with a small but healthy range of new models for TT120 from both Hornby and Pico. Pico had the track work, including medium points and flexi track. They were later to add shorter radius points and slips. Whilst Hornby had the lion's share of the released products, such as the Easterner and Scotsman sets, A1s, A3s and A4s. They also had the Class 08 diesels in a variety of liveries. All these models were praised for the amount of detail that was realised at the smaller scale and generally considered to be very solid first wave models in a new scale. To accompany the locos we had Mark I coaches, Pullman coaches, corridors and brakes, as well as a variety of 7-plank wagons, 12-ton tankers, vent vans, brake vans, etc. And again, these were beautifully produced, very detailed. Some of the rolling stock did have teething problems as far as their running characteristics went, especially the 12-ton tankers, some of the brake vans too. To accompany the core elements of the scale, both Hornby and Pico produced buildings. Pico's being laser cut kits, Hornby's being resin models fully painted. Pico also had their 7-plank wagons, which ran beautifully. They were cheaper than Hornby's, if slightly less detailed. We also had admirable support from a number of accessory manufacturers, which has continued to flourish to this day, allowing us to add details: people, drivers, stations, vehicles, bins, pallets, line side detailing, point rodding and more. Companies like Westhill Wagon Works, Model U, Modellux as well, others, all helped give modelers the chance to add more realism to their layouts as they were keen to do. So what's there in 2024 for us? I think that the state of play has only improved. In fact, I think it's improved dramatically in 2024. We're only 6 months in, and to be fair, I don't think any of us expect the second 6 months to be quite so jam-packed as the first 6 months. But what a 6 months we've had so far. I'm going to start with Hornby. First up, the leaked announcement of a BR Green 08 that's coming, I think, in October later this year. Something that's been asked for time and again. They've responded to it, but we've lost the blue one, so keep your eyes peeled for what comes next. Then the Class 43 HST. These were released along with suitable coaches to allow for full sweeping rakes to just roll on by, looking absolutely exquisite. Heavier as well than anything of the locos before, the HSTs are superb models, and they're marked by a clear line of intent, I think, from Hornby to pressing up the perceived quality of TT. 5-pole motors, heavy metal chassis, a full lighting package for diesels, I think, is now going to be the standard. Hot on the heels of the HSTs, we soon got the Class 50s. Heavier again, I think, than the HSTs, if memory serves me right. The 50s incorporate also a cleverly designed acoustic chamber to really offer fulsome sound in the TXS models, if that's what you're looking for. They also allowed us to have really mighty traction, excellent running characteristics. And again, Hornby managed to coordinate their releases in the current logistical setup. Not an easy thing to do, but they managed to release more coaches to run with the 50s, suitable for the liveries as well, in short order. It's starting to ramp up. Not to leave out the steamers, we've just had the Princess Coronation or Duchesses released. These were eagerly anticipated. addressing some concerns as well about the ability of the previous steamers to haul a full train up an incline. The Duchesses are kitted out in full die-cast boilers. They boast a superbly intricate cab. They have specially designed acoustic chamber in the tender, allowing sound versions just to have that rich, deep bass. They also have an innovative coal load release feature that you lift the coal load out to access the next 18 DCC socket, and it's one of those design features that are so simple it makes you wonder, why did nobody do that before? Why is that not a standard way of doing things? Great to see that level of thoughtfulness, not just repeating but improving on what has gone before. Not bad for, in this case, Hornby as a single company pushing out a brand new scale. And then there was also new freight brought onto market. First up, the TTA tankers. These are a real showcase for the scale, and virtually faultless as models, I would actually have to say. They looked great, they had exquisite details, finely realised, liveries were spot on. The underframe detail I still think is almost ridiculously good. And if you're curious about the scale at all, you haven't yet plunged into anything TT and you're just not sure how good can it be, if you want just a small investment, get a TTA wagon, tanker, and I think that'll convince you. They are beautiful models. Next came the 21-ton wagons. And I confess, I have a real soft spot for the 21-ton wagons. They're just good, honest freight. They're unpretentious, they're robust, but they're also great value and charming. There's something about them. And you'll also, if you're interested in that line of things, plenty of folk have shown us how to weather them up to good effect. You can do that to your heart's content. They take a weathering very well. And it gets them to have that battered but loved look all the more. More recently, we had the HAA hoppers, and they come in two varieties. One of them has the upper moulding in place. I think that's to limit the effect of the movement and the wind passing on coal loads. Others will know better about me than I do of these things. But there's two versions there. They're now available. They're also brilliantly realised in model form. There's lots of rivet detail on the HAAs, both on the exterior of the hopper and on the interior. And I would also say in real life, they look a lot less plasticky than I would have deduced from the photographs I'd seen before. This is a very good model, worthy of its place. It's not bad, is it? It's certainly not nothing, and it's also not stopping, because in April, Hornby held their TT Range launch, which showcased, well, the advanced design work of a J50 060 steam loco, something that we've been looking for really since the whole range was announced in the first place. A small diesel was something that people were crying out for. The J50 is coming later this year. They also announced a new train set and a brilliant value proposition of the HST train set that's coming again later this year. I think they're certainly aiming in time for Christmas, but that is one that if you're thinking of getting started in and you're ready to take a plunge more than just toe in the water with a single wagon to see what it's like, if you want to start somewhere, there's no better value. And the sound models, although obviously more expensive, they are brilliant value as well. Really superbly engineered little models. So that's all coming. And then they showed off the CAD drawings of the eagerly awaited Class 37. I remember Class 37 as one of my own first proper locos I got after the initial rather decrepit Junti that I first received. The 37 was the next one, and it was just an exciting thing to hold and to have, such a powerful locomotive. KFAs are due for release as well for boosting the freight options for us. There's also things that are planned and have been mentioned before in, if you like, a category of announced but not released, not pre-orderable. There's a new word. And you've got things like the 9Fs and castles for steam lovers. You've got the 31s for the diesels, as well as what I mentioned, the 37s. And that's as well as, of course, the Class 66s, which are sure to drop before the end of the year, and they look every bit as impressive as the 50s. And a lot of time and effort, I know, has gone into the 66s. And so I'm sure those who have them on pre-order will not be disappointed. That's not to mention the accessories, new signals, both home and distant, single and double. A level crossing is due later this year. An interesting innovation, I think, there in terms of making a single design that can cope with multi-track crossings. That's also coming. Pico, to mention them as well, though they haven't yet announced any addition to their rolling stock. They are busy with their signals. These have been in production for a while. We're waiting to hear when they actually get released. All that in 6 months. And more that I haven't had a chance to mention, especially with the likes of Westhill Wagon Works, who are really bringing on the accessorization of the scale for us in an excellent way, and with a very finely realized 3D printing efforts. Who knows what else is coming? We're waiting on a few things just to be dropped on us, I think, in the next week or so even, perhaps. Who knows? But that's the state of TT in 2024, only at the halfway point. Hope you found this useful. Thanks very much for watching. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Anyone who wants to pick up a pre-order or make a pre-order or order any of these things we've mentioned that are already in stock, affiliate links in the description below. And thanks very much for watching.